Who the narcissist can't fool anymore. Think about that for a minute. So you're learning about narcissism. You're now understanding that you are getting the wisdom. You are getting the education. The narcissist won't be able to fool you much longer or any longer at all. And you see, more and more people are following your footsteps. More and more people are doing the deep dive on narcissism. More and more people are realizing that they deserve better. And yes, more and more people are going no contact. They're blocking these people, the toxic people. They're deleting them, removing them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. You see, the collective consciousness of this year, it's changing. It is elevating. It's ascending. We are no longer going to be tethered to people who use us, abuse us, manipulate us, trick us, trap us, blame us, shame us, steal everything out from under us, and then discard us. That's what the narcissist does. That's what the narcissist did most likely, and that's what they're trying to do right now if they're still on the planet. Now, way back when, before you entered that relationship, you didn't know what narcissism was. If you did, you would have run for the hills. Remember, the narcissist did not hand you that 2-page report and say, take a look at this, read this, this is who I am. It's what I'm capable of, and it's what I did to people before you, and it's what I will do with you. They didn't do that. What they did is they infiltrated your life. They crept into your life. They slithered into your life. And what they wanted to do was to destroy your life from the inside out. And they did their best to do that under the guise of actually caring about you. Remember, the narcissist wants to learn all about the target. They want to assimilate themselves with said person. They want to learn about their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their goals, their past, their present, and their future. And what they want to do is steal it all. They want to take everything that that person had or wanted to acquire, meaning let's say they wanted to get married, have the white picket fence with the kids, etc. The narcissist, once they figure that out, they would do their best to make sure that that did not happen or that it didn't happen the way said person wanted it to happen. You see, the narcissist ruins people's lives. The narcissist destroys people's mindsets. The narcissist steals people's time and money and relationships and, of course, health. And you didn't know any of these things way back when. But what happened is you got too close to somebody who claimed that they cared about you, and nothing, and I mean nothing, could be further from the truth. They actually were jealous of you. They were envious of you. They learned from you. They studied you. They assimilated themselves with you. They most likely love bombed you, and once they got their dirty fangs sunken into you, then they began to pull back and extract what is known as supply. Supply is money. Supply is time. Supply is an airplane trip. Supply is an Amazon package. Supply is a cell phone. Supply is being hung up on. Supply is making plans and breaking plans. Supply is being triangulated. Anything is supplied to the narcissist. That's why once you get the wisdom and you understand what kind of relationship you were a part of, you need to get away from that person as fast as you possibly can. Now, all these things I'm sharing, as the thumbnail describes, who the narcissist can't fool any longer, it's not only you, and it certainly is not only me, it's more and more people on the planet. Think about what month we're in and what year we're in. We're in the 6th month of the year 2026. A couple sixes in there, right? We'll go back 6 years ago. What year was that? That was the year 2020. What does 2020 stand for when you're thinking about your health? That's right, 2020. What is 2020? Let's get the old glasses out. This is 2020 vision. Now, do I have 2020 vision? No, but I'm pretty close to it. Detached retina, thanks narcissist, but the point being, I did the best I could to heal my retina, among many other things. But 6 years ago, that was the year the whole world stopped. That was the year time froze. That was the year that we can't put back in the toothpaste, meaning you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. That's when everything froze. Remember, I shared with you earlier, what's 2020? That's a year. It's already passed. What is 2020 again in this present day? It's the year everything changed for you, like that. And also, it's 2020 vision. You see, you can see much clearer now than you ever could before. And tomorrow, you'll be able to see much clearer than you could see today. As long as you continue on that healing path and you continue to focus on yourself and continue to elevate and ascend and learn all about toxicity, learn about narcissism, of course, learn about empathy, mindset, trajectory, abundance, empathy, if I didn't say that, energy, and so much more. That's not even counting boundaries and what human behavior is all about. And I'm wiping my eye because I have sunblock in my eye. But having said those things, who the narcissist can't fool any longer? The tilting of the people who could be manipulated and fooled before 2020, it was a large amount of people. That number's shifting. Now fewer people are able, these are the fewer people are being able to be manipulated. And I'll give you evidence of this right now. As I shared with you, today's the 6th month of the year 2026. Well, what came out recently? Maybe even today, I can't tell you, but what I can share this is a movie came out. And not only one movie, but other movies are coming out about what? Ding, ding, ding. You nailed it. Narcissism. And guess what? These movies that are coming out, and you will see a plethora, a flood of movies coming out in the very near future on this topic with the word narcissist or narcissism in them. The reason these movies are having the word narcissist or narcissism in them, or are describing narcissism to the best of their ability, and of course, I haven't watched these movies yet, but I probably will take a look at them and give you my review on them in the future to see how accurate they are, and I hope to God they are. But having said that, why do you think these movies are being made? Because the collective consciousness of which you are a part is changing. People need to know what other people are capable of. People need to know that toxicity exists. I was trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle for quite a long period of time. You probably were too. Most people that you had communicated with when you were trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, and certainly when you were out, they had no idea what you were talking about, possibly because you could not describe it accurately, possibly because you were still in the trauma bond, possibly because you didn't know what narcissism was yet, or possibly because you were still in the caught up in the narcissistic fog, or many other reasons. But guess what? Whoever's creating these movies, and again, I'm not rubber stamping them, I haven't seen them yet, I'm just sharing that they're coming out. Whoever's creating the movies, either narcissism has affected them or somebody that they know. That is a fact. Any way you cut it. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, is just going to say, oh, I think I'll make a movie about a topic I know nothing about because it never affected me and I think it's a good idea. That's not how it works. How it works is, what we do is when we're trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, the trauma bond or the narcissistic fog devaluation stage, we are so broken, so beaten down and being so peppered with abuse that just even to take another breath sometimes is challenging. But as we are going through the relationship, unbeknownst to ourselves, we're being peppered with abuse more and more and more. What we don't realize is we're learning more and more about human behavior, about narcissism. But, however, we're learning more and more about ourselves. So why I'm sharing that is that who is able or who is capable of being fooled these days by the narcissist? Still, yeah, a good amount of people, but not nearly as many as were able to be fooled by the narcissist yesterday or the day before or the day before or the day before. And I'll tell you right now, tomorrow and the day after and subsequent days, there'll be even fewer people that could be fooled by the narcissist. And you may say, this sounds all great, but how can you prove it's true? I'll prove it's true right now in a heartbeat. And if you want, I can create a 24-hour video. Yeah, just give me a little bit of water and maybe a couple of seconds of sleep, and I can filibuster this thing all day long. Of course, no script, because this is why you're here. You're here in the community, and you're here watching this video, consuming it as I'm creating it, because you want answers to the questions that you did not receive from the narcissist, just like you never received closure, and you are keeping your cup full, which is why I create videos every single day, sometimes multiple videos in a day. All these things I'm mentioning to you is this, that equals this. The word is out. People are talking about narcissism. This is my moonshot. It's my calling. Read the description of my channel that I created March 31st, 2021, 5 months and 2 days after the discard. I shared in the very first sentence or two that this is my moonshot. It's my calling, and I will be a go-to avenue to get your wisdom. And guess what? I've done just that. But not only have I done it, many other people have grabbed the torch and created YouTube channels, created ways to participate in the movement of abundance, in the movement of cutting the ties with the narcissist. This is why people are becoming awakened and aware. This is why movies are being made. This is why people are talking about toxicity. This is why it affected your life to the level it did. You never thought in a million years that a complete stranger or someone you knew or someone you grew up with, maybe it was even your parent, would turn out to be an abuser. Someone who would lie to you, steal from you, spy on you, stalk you, maybe cheat on you, and misdirect you. Think about this one. Let's say you went to university and you were coming out of university, you were going to get a job. Maybe one of your parents was the narcissist. Did they steer you onto the correct course to get your job? In other words, what you wanted to work as? Maybe you wanted to be a doctor. Maybe you wanted to be a pharmacist. Maybe you wanted to be a world traveler. I don't know what you wanted to do, but did the narcissist support that? Of course not, because they didn't want you to do better than them. And they didn't want you to enjoy your life. They wanted you stunted. They wanted you believing that you would never amount to anything. They wanted you tricked, trapped, manipulated, brainwashed, and not believing that tomorrow would be a better day. Which is why who the narcissist can't fool any longer, it's you. It's definitely me. And it is so many more, hundreds of millions of people, approaching a few billion people. And you may say, that's a pretty big number. Well, it's really not a big number on the planet. We have 8.3 billion people, give or take a few hundred grand. But think about how many people have been trapped in narcissistic abusive cycles and how many people have made it out. Also, think about how many people have observed narcissism or toxicity from their siblings, or from their parents, or from their friends, or the people they were dating's families, who knows? But it didn't affect them the way it affected you. You see, people pay attention, people observe, and most people on the planet are now understanding that they either need to get on this tidal wave of abundance and authenticity and block the narcissists, plural, or they will be the next target. Bitter pill to swallow, a little challenging. And you may say, well, I don't know if that's true. Guess what? It is true. If the narcissist can't get to you, and they sure as hell can't get to me, where do they go? They have to go somewhere else. Where will they go? They will go elsewhere, wherever a person is listening to their false narrative, wherever a person opens up a door to toxicity, wherever a person believes their sob story. That's why you need to take this very seriously. And that's why you need to maintain your boundaries and understand that going no contact is the path. You also need to understand one more thing. There are so many people who are really getting the message these days. Many of those people have been trapped in cycles. A lot of them have been in smaller cycles. Other people have observed toxicity without even knowing what it was. And then there's you, and there's myself. We were tricked, trapped, we were brainwashed. We were in the deep end of destruction, the cesspool of manipulation, the minefield of misery, and we were being driven to a place which was a dead end, which was the ending of that relationship called Destructionsville. You see, when we were in that relationship in the beginning, early days, we were being love bombed, and we thought everything would be puppies and rainbows and snickerdoodles and s'mores and Twinkies and whatever the next thing is. Let's call them tasty cakes if you people are on the East Coast. Well, that's not what happened. What happened is we were future faked, we were love bombed. And as soon as the narcissists had their dirty fangs sunken into us, they pulled back. Then the devaluation stage took place after they took what they wanted to take from us. Then came the discard, and on and on and on. That's why you need to understand that there's a lot of content that is coming out on the topic of narcissism. You need to use your discernment. You need to trust your instincts, trust your intuition, and if things resonate with you, then fine. But you cannot just simply believe what anyone is telling you in a video, in a movie, in a book, or in a class, or in a course. You need to use your discernment. Remember, you were trapped in the cycle, as was I. I will never, and I mean never, entertain toxicity for 1 second for the rest of my life and the hereafter. I know what it's like to be on both ends of the table. I know what it's like to be broken in a billion pieces and believing that tomorrow won't be a better day. I know what it's like to almost off myself January 6, 2021. I also know what it's like to be out here in the beautiful Carolina wilderness, in the beautiful Carolina woods, creating content to help you heal. And that's what I do. I do it because I want to, I do it because I can, and I do it because I care. You, at one point, were what was known as the new supply. So was I. You're not supply. You are an amazing human being, stronger than you know, capable of anything, including breaking the 4 ties from the narcissist: the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual ties. Cut those ties. Close the chapter of the book on the narcissist. Super glue it. air glue it, gorilla glue it, seal it as tight as possible, never, ever to be reopened. Not in a million years. Make it as airtight as possible. Send that message to yourself that yes, in fact, you can go no contact. Yes, in fact, you do want to live an abundant life. And yes, in fact, there will never, and I mean never, ever again be toxicity in your life because you were in it once, and once is too many times. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Couple quick things. Yes, I am blinking a lot, and I had a couple tears because it is 95 degrees here, although it may not look that way. And it is super hot, and I am extremely, let's say, sweaty. Having said that, sunblock got my eye because that's what happens when you are me. I get sunblock in my eyes, and it's not a pleasant experience, but enough of that. I will share this with you. You need to understand that there are many different avenues of information coming out. You need to use your discernment and pick and choose what serves you. When these movies come out, if I have the ability to watch them, I will. And I will tell you exactly what I think about them if you want me to. Now, do I review movies? No. But because these are supposed to be about narcissism with the words in the title, then I will give you what I take. I'll give you my take. And I'll let you know if it resonates with me. If it doesn't, I'll still tell you what I think if you want. If you don't, then watch the movies yourself and figure it out. Any way you cut it, remember this. Discernment is the key. Discernment is yours. And the second key is the narcissist can't fool you any longer. They fooled you once. They fooled you twice. They will never fool you again. That's why you need to close the chapter of the book on the narcissist, gorilla glue it, seal it as airtight as you can, and close that chapter and begin to move as far away from that person as fast as you possibly can. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.